Welcome, everybody. I am Robin from Western Mass. I'm here with Richard Kuhns, the author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites. This is the Q&A section of our Sunday Morgellons call, where people can ask questions about the topic or about anything they're going through with Morgellons, and Richard is here to answer.
Okay. Again, first of all, some other people may have tuned in from YouTube, so I need to let everybody know the FDA requires that inform you that before you start the King Diet or accept any of our recommendations, to thoroughly discuss them with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. EMA and FDA also require us to inform you that we do not have medical licenses to practice medicine, so we are not here and will not diagnose, cure, treat, or mitigate any organic disease. We are here to educate you how to utilize the King Diet, how to clean your skin, how to remove the organisms from your environment, and which targeted supplements we have available to build health and immune functioning. Okay, who's our first person with a question?
Yeah, I have a question about glutathione. I'd like some clarification on the glutathione and from the Max One versus the you have a glutathione another product on the store, and then there are some folks that seem to get benefit from the lipoglutathione and also glutathione in the IV form. I wanted your take on that, please.
Okay, well, glutathione in the intravenous form is usually administered by a doctor or a nurse practitioner. And typically, it's only administered, I guess, with LMNDs, Lyme literate medical doctors, for the treatment of Lyme disease as part of their protocol for some of them. Otherwise, it's administered for, say, toxicity poisoning, like arsenic poisoning that may happen. And if you're taken to the hospital, that may be one of the first things that you are given. Now, this is glutathione taken intravenously. It builds up glutathione in the blood circulatory system, and that's great. And it's expensive when it's gotten that way, and it's limited in the number of shots. I mean, you have to go to the doctor. You have to have somebody administer these shots to you. Okay, now liposomal glutathione is another form of glutathione that is available. You see, the problem with glutathione is that taking it orally, it's a very large tripeptide molecule, which if you go to Google and you search and you do a lot of research, you find out that taking it orally is rather inefficient in that the stomach seems to figure it as being food and digest quite a bit of it. So a little bit of it, maybe 20, 30%, gets through the stomach and gets absorbed and gets into the blood system and the circulatory system. So by taking it with the typical supplements that you find in the health food store, you're quite limited in the amount of effective glutathione that you're getting into your body. Plus, if you read the ingredients, you'll probably find some of the ingredients that are not compatible with the King Diet. So they are a no-no. There is also a glutathione supplement that's given through Whey, W-H-E-Y, which is available. Now, again, the word whey, milk product, it is not compatible with the King Diet, so that one is out. Now, the liposomal, as I understand it, I'm going from memory, I could be wrong, has the ability to maybe time release in the digestive system, But the problem again is whether that I'm right about that or wrong about that doesn't matter, because when you look at the other ingredients, you'll find that they are not compatible with the king diet. So it doesn't matter whether I'm right or wrong about the method of how it is taken. It's simply not compatible and is going to cause problems. Now, in the store, we have also nanoglutathione. Nanoglutathione is taken by dropper, a dropper full under your tongue, and held there for 90 seconds. Now, the problem with this one is that it has orange oil as part of the formulation. And I'm not sure whether orange oil would be a problem with the king diet or not. So I'm recommending that if you do take it that way or use that form, that after the 90 seconds you spit it out as opposed to swallowing it as they recommend on the instructions. Now, you can test it yourself if you get to the point where you make the king diet work and are free of symptoms of itching and biting. Then fine, take a dropper full, have it absorb under your tongue for 90 seconds, and then go ahead and swallow and see if you react within 30 or 40 minutes, and let me know the results. It would be helpful for me to know whether or not orange oil is a problem with the king diet or if it is not. So now we also have it in the store because it comes in dropper form. So on a lesion, many people have reported, in fact, I had someone send in and tell me how fantastic it worked on her lesions. She just put a drop of the nanoglutathione on the lesion and boom, it healed right up within a day or two. So that is amazing. And so that's another reason why we have it in store, and the primary reason that we have it in the store. Now, the approach that I've been using since 2012 or maybe a little bit earlier is the Max 1 product. It is not glutathione. It is a formulation of D-ribose, which is a natural high-quality sugar. Now notice it's D-ribose, sucrose, dextrose. Dextrose, sucrose are simple sugars and to be avoided because they feed the parasites. D-ribose, on the other hand, is a high-quality sugar, much like L-glutamine that we use for taking internally for the stomach to help heal the mucosa. So the D-ribose is bonded through a special technique that a Japanese researcher discovered with L-cysteine, which is a protein. And this combination, this bonded combination, gets by the stomach into the bloodstream and into the cell, into the actual cell, where the D-ribose is phenomenal in that it is the natural food of the mitochondria. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of these little tiny viruses, friendly viruses, in every cell of your body, often called the furnaces of your cell. It's the life of your cell. And they kind of like burn, you know. And if they burn too fast, the cell dies too fast. If they don't have enough fuel, they're sluggish and the cell isn't operating optimally. So this is a natural food for the mitochondria. Now, when we are feeding the mitochondria, this goes into another whole gamut that I'm not even well versed enough to talk about at this point, and that is the production of ATP. And if you look that substance up, it's phenomenal. It's kind of like the life force itself. So now that's just half of Max 1. Okay, the other half is the L-cysteine, which combines with the other two proteins that are readily available in the cell to create the glutathione molecule. And now once you have the glutathione molecule there inside the cell, it helps prevent free radical damage. Free radical damage is what destroys the DNA. There is much information about Morgellons that indicates that that destroys DNA. It rewrites the DNA. So the glutathione protects the DNA from being rewritten by Morgellons, all the other free radicals that are present in the system. It recycles vitamin A, it recycles vitamin C, it recycles a whole host of things. I mean, it's phenomenal. So it also detoxifies. It gets rid of heavy metals. It gets rid of cadmium. It gets rid of pesticides that have accumulated. It gets rid of nickel. It gets rid of mercury. It gets rid of all that stuff. So you have an option of going to the dentist and having all those fillings extracted with amalgam and get rid of the mercury that way and spend $10,000, or boosting your glutathione and let the glutathione get rid of it for you. Okay? Simple. It also is an anti-inflammatory. It's the body's major anti-inflammatory. It also increases the ability of hemoglobin to carry oxygen. So it's so vital and so important. Now, this is inside the cell. Everything else that I mentioned so far is in the bloodstream. And when it's in the bloodstream, it's good. It builds up a concentration. And all that means is then what little bit of glutathione was being produced in the cell isn't being extracted and pulled into the bloodstream. So the others approaches are not as effective, in my opinion, as the Max 1. Now, the other option that we've recently brought into the store is NAC, N-acetylcysteamine. It also is a technique or a means of boosting glutathione. Now, it is more unpredictable than Max 1. So, and you need to drink a lot of water, otherwise you could be a candidate for kidney stones. So it comes with cautions, but it also is a far less expensive way of building glutathione, and we just made a second pack in the store. We have a pack of Life A, which is Max 1, ionic minerals, the Max 1, and the Garcillin, and then the pack 2, which is the multivitamin, the regular mineral in tablet form, the NAC, and Garcillin. Okay, so I think I covered it all for you.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Sure. Next question.
I placed an order for some of your products a few weeks ago, and I'm really grateful to have received these so promptly. My favorites are the Super MSM Gel Plus, which is great for pulling out fibers from my skin, and the mouthwash is amazing, both as a mouthwash and topically to reduce itching and fibers. I've been using DE powder in my socks per your advice. Prior to this, I used borax. DE is much more effective. Early next month, my husband and I will be staying with our daughter and family for 3 weeks, and we'll be between houses. I'm relieved to see the hand cleanser is useful as a surface spray because I'm concerned about infecting other family members. I've been on the King diet for stage 1 for a month now. Initially, I made a few mistakes. I thought pumpkin seeds and zucchini. Isn't zucchini okay? We're okay. Unfortunately, my symptoms have increased, although they don't seem to be related to my diet.
Okay, let's stop there. Zucchini is okay. Pumpkin seeds is not. Right. But as you read on, we'll see the huge mistakes she's been making. And by the way, she's in Perth, Australia. So that means our shipping is much better than it used to be with the post office. That might have taken 4 or 6 weeks. We ship by UPS now or DHL, and it seems to be much better. So go ahead.
I'm preparing a meal, especially in the evening. My hands itch, maybe from heat, and fibers pour from my skin. Wow. I end up washing my hands at least 10 times so that the fibers don't end up in my food. It's if these things have their own consciousness, I would be grateful if you could answer the following questions. Is cleaning the bath with ammonia sufficient to prevent others from becoming infected? I was using borax with strong detergent and essential oils before reading about ammonia.
So let's stop here. Let's stop here with this one question. And in my opinion, yes, spraying after you take a bath. And if with people dealing with Morgellons, they often talk about debris. So you want to get the debris washed off. You don't want the scum being around. But then spraying with ammonia, in my opinion, basically will handle it. And the next question.
Will I infect others if I swim in a backyard saltwater pool? What about a chlorinated swimming pool?
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's chlorinated or salt water. Bottom line is it's not strong enough to destroy the organisms. So it's risky. You could spread them that way. So it's risky. That's my opinion.
Well, when I first got Morgellons and I had it really bad, I joined a health club and I would sit in the sauna and then rinse off and swim in the chlorinated pool, and it helped so much.
I think the key there is the sauna.
Yeah, but I also think the chlorine made a difference as well. So I mean, I don't have hard proof, but it seemed to help a lot. And I had talked to a couple other people who felt like the swimming in chlorinated or salt water made a big difference for them.
It may, but I wouldn't guarantee that that's going to kill the organisms. It's sort of like taking a bath with somebody in the tub with the disinfectants. We know the disinfectants can destroy the organisms, and we know, but the disinfectants are not generally strong enough to destroy all the organisms. This is why we suggest after the bath is that you shower off, and then you may even apply some things. So even the bath, it's like taking a bath with two people, whether you're in a swimming pool or not. The salt water, it's still possible. So I wouldn't say yes, it's going to solve the problem. You're going to be free. I would not make that claim or lead anybody to believe there's no risk.
Right. You're right. She has more questions here.
Sure. Yeah. It gets pretty good.
Okay, so she's becoming constipated as she's used to having lots of fruit and figs in her diet. She drinks 2 liters of water a day. Are there any foods I can eat on the King diet that support normal digestion and elimination? I'm eating heaps of garlic and onions daily.
Well, being hydrated is very important. Very, very important, not only for constipation, but also now, as far as constipation goes, there is a blog, and what I did was simply put the blog post in for her to read. One of the things is to use diatomaceous earth will help with constipation. But for anybody interested, go to the blog, search for constipation, find the blog post, and it gives you a whole bunch of things that you can do to deal with constipation. So what else is she saying there?
She's using a sachet of Stevia sweet powder about 3 times a week. This product contains modified starch from wheat. Wow.
There you have it. That one little thing, assuming Stevia, just because it says it's Stevia, is going to be compatible. And it is what kills and knocks so many people off of making the diet work. It's because detail. I'm even thinking of maybe having just one program where people can come on and read the ingredients. I met with, a lady a week or so ago who was a supplement junkie, and we went through 10 or 15 supplements that she had been taking and been on for years and depended on, high-quality supplements from Dr. Mercola and people like that, Everyone had something in it that would invalidate the diet. Invalidate the diet. So it's so easy to screw up, and it might be a good idea just to have a supplement day where people can come and bring your supplements, read us the ingredients, and we can tell you in a second. You can figure it out your own and go to the diet and read all the ingredients and stuff and figure it out for yourself. But that sometimes is complicated and not so easy to do, and you got other things to do as well. So that could be a good idea for a meeting. So, okay, so that one little thing, that one little pack of stevia, that one little Tic Tac kind of thing is really messing up this lady and making the diet ineffective for her, making her itch. So when she gets rid of that stevia and gets onto, we use sweet leaf stevia. You can get it in most health food stores, or you can get it from us. I ask you that when you place an order, please remember to buy things like the sweet leaf stevia and the toothpaste. And I ask you to support our store, not so that we make money, but so that I can be here every week, because I give you so much for free. I give you the books for free, the How to Get Your Life Back. I give you this program for free. I give you Lyme Doesn't Have to Own You Anymore. I give you Mites Win the War of the Mite. I give you programs on how to beat depression, how to sleep better. I give you all this for free. All I ask in return is that you support our store when you're ordering products, and make a list and add to it and support our store. It's simple. Okay, Chris, did you find someone?
Just want to say thank you very much for all that you guys do. You're so much appreciated. That's one. And
thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. But, okay, it's been a while since I've read your book. I had a previous edition. I get all the emails and so forth. And I do support the store, love the store. I've got a quick question. It's a disinfection question.
Sure.
I've got a couple of the Ozone units, both of which I purchased from the store. One like several years ago, and then one more recently. This is weird. I have a hallway that the critters are in, and I have a high velocity fan that is like focused toward the hallway to keep them from migrating into the rest of the house, like the living room. So my question is, if I were to use the Ozone unit in the hallway, could they potentially migrate to the living room, and then I have a spread?
You want to answer that, Robin?
Sure. Yes, they can. I have found that if you're only ozoning one area at a time, they'll just move to the next room or another area. The best way to use ozone is if you can do a complete section of your house at once, or the whole house at once. But yeah, I've talked to many people who ozoned one space and reinfested the one next to it.
Yeah, that was my fear. Okay, so alternatively, what about potentially spraying that one hallway with ammonia? Is that potentially?
Yeah, if you can, ammonia, spray it. You can use spray any of the other disinfectants. So, I mean, the whole idea is you can up your game. If ammonia doesn't do it, then you can go up to the triple pesticide. You can go up to the zinc pesticide. You can make your own 4 Thieves oil with what's the information in the book. We have the Benefect disinfectant, which is organic but not necessary for hallways. We have the MediClean disinfectant. We also have the Clean 'em Up Zymes. And we also have the electrostatic sprayer, which is going to be better at getting the spray into crevices and cracks where they may be hiding, where the spray may not necessarily go with a regular sprayer.
But you have to know you can't do anything one time and in
one day, every day, 21 days straight.
Minimum.
Okay.
Minimum.
Okay. All right.
And the electrostatic sprayer is on sale this week, so you can look into that.
Okay. All right. Got my research cut out for it. Again, thank you guys so very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Anyone else?
I'm brand new. You sent me all the information yesterday, so I haven't read the book. I'm only on page 36, so I've got a lot to learn. I did try your diet years ago. I've had this for 36 years. It's been hell, although I'm better, and I've been doing the medical medium stuff, but he has a lot of sugar in there. I noticed the honey. So he also said he knew nothing about Morgellons and couldn't help me with that, but he helped me with other symptoms. My question to you, after looking at the table of contents, I have 2 cats. I've always had cats. Is that an issue?
Well, there are many people that have animals. Now, the question is, are the cats showing symptoms of skin parasites?
No, not at
Well,
all.
then great. You're basically home free. Many people, it's like living with people. Living with animals is no different than living with people, except people are a lot more difficult sometimes. Now, you can be in a family unit of 5 or 6 people, and you might be the only one impacted, and you might have others that have it to some degree and deny it, and are simply carriers and always telling you you're crazy. So that is the worst possible scenario ever. Whereas living with cats, they're not going to tell you you're crazy, and if they're not affected,
Right.
if they're not affected, that's great.
Yeah.
And if they
crazy many times.
if they are affected, Robin has lots of experience with animals, her cat, and getting clear, her cat clear. So animals are really not the problem I used to think they would be.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome to the program. Enjoy. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. We know it's not an easy task. We know it's easy to make mistakes, and this is why we're here. A simple mistake like stevia, the wrong kind of stevia. You said you tried the diet many years ago. I guess you did, for some reason, make the diet work. And so now you're back, and welcome. And it also, I did an update on Mother's Day of this year, which talks about undressing Morgellons. Weird topic, subject topic, but bottom line is Morgellons generally isn't there by itself. It's there with a lot of cofactors. So what you are telling me basically is that whatever you've been doing, you've been getting rid of some of those cofactors, which are making it less of an issue than it was years ago. And that's good. You're on the right path.
Okay.
So make the diet work, and you're home free. That's my experience, and many others.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who's next? Anybody?
When you talk about the diet kicking in and the organisms getting sleepy and going to sleep, are you referring to only mites or springtails?
All of them. All of them. So I have no idea why, but it seems that when you make the diet work, they all kind of go into some kind of lazy trance.
Yeah. Well, it's very hard for me to gauge how well the diet is working for me because I have had no itching and no biting for more than a couple of years. But I still stay with the diet. Same thing with the debriding soap. You say that it annoys the organisms and makes them come out. Are you also referring to spirochetes, Morgellons, and mites or springtails, or mainly to the mites or springtails?
You're asking if the debriding soap extracts the mites and the springtails, and okay, this is how the debriding soap works. For instance, about how many pounds do you weigh?
110.
Wow. And have you ever had a pebble in your shoe?
Yes, I get the pebble in the shoe thing, and I know about, but here's the thing. You've talked about Morgellons, and we talk about the Morgellons lint, and certainly I've had that lint, and I've had that tiny Morgellons, but I also have had, and thankfully not so much anymore, massive, huge, fibrous masses that the debriding soap has never brought out of my skin. But when I add bentonite clay and alfalfa powder to that bath, these massive, huge fibrous masses come out.
Okay.
So those have been coming out. And the other reason why I think the diet is working well for me and I think my environment is improving, because my skin has been improving and improving and improving and improving daily without setbacks.
And how long have you're on the diet? So you're on the diet?
Oh, I've been on the diet for a couple of years.
Oh,
yeah.
What stage?
I just dabble from time to time with phase 2, but mainly phase 1 because it's very hard for me to gauge. I don't get itching and biting. If I do go crazy and have lasagna for dinner and ice cream for dessert, I don't get a reaction. I don't get any biting. I don't get any itching. I don't get anything.
But try that for a week and see what happens.
Well, I'm afraid to do that. So.
Yeah, I would be afraid too, because it's all hell. It is true. You get to the point with the diet where you feel really good, no itching, no biting, and so forth, and you have lasagna and you have ice cream, and there's no problem, and you're happy, and it's great, and it's wonderful. I've gotten there with many times like that, and thought I was cured, and I would continue eating the cake every day for a week, and then boom. Yeah. I've learned that we're not cured, but
so Richard,
yes.
I'm one of these people where, like, my lower legs were 3 times their normal size. There was such a thick layer after layer after layer of Morgellons under there. There was so much stuff in there. It's taken me 2 years to get it all out. It's almost all gone. I was retaining all kinds of fluid around my ankle bones and wrists and elbows and all my joints. The fluid is almost gone. The Morgellons has gone from being, huge fibrous masses. I've had foot-long, giant mutant fibers come out of my skin in the bath, or just a handful-sized mass of fibers, which is pretty terrifying. Now I'm down to like tiny little bits coming out. So I think I'm really, really, really getting there. One thing that has helped me enormously that I just want to mention, you do mention it in your book, but mainly only mentions of other people. I stumbled upon metronidazole gel, and that seems to be killing the parasitic bacteria in my skin and bringing that level of healing to just a whole nother level. And it's healed me so well in a couple of months.
Well, but what you're saying is that it's, I think what is it, the gel, metronidazole?
Metronidazole.
Okay, that sounds like it's an antifungal.
No, you know what it is? It's used for rosacea, which is also it's also a parasitic bacterial skin infection. So what metronidazole kills is bacteria and protozoa. Okay. And although these are not protozoa technically, they behave like protozoa. So we talk a lot about antibacterial, but there's antibacterial stuff, and I'd say 99% of antibacterial stuff is not effective against these spirochetes because they're so nasty. And then just another quick note, okay, there's a guy who has a little video online, and when you click on the link of his video, it comes to your book. And I don't know if you know him or if he's just hooking up to your wagon, but he talks about zeolite as not just for the Herxheimer reaction, but as something to use all the time to, again, filter, trap, and clean these spirochetes out of your skin.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you on the Pack of Light supplements?
No,
Okay, that sounds like it's an antifungal.
I'm not on the Pack of Light supplements.
Okay, that sounds like it's an antifungal.
No, but I take most of your other supplements. I do the glutathione, the Max One, the Garcillin, the sachets in the water.
Well, then you're basically on the Pack of Life. Are you taking the vitamins are you taking the multiple vitamins?
You know, it's funny. I don't take any multivitamins these days because I'm just taking so many herbs and other things. So much sulfur, MSM sulfur. I take a crap load. And I just, you know, it gets to a point where you're doing 40 things and something else just falls off.
Yeah, well, MSM is part of our protocol as well. We have them in capsules. So the Pack of Life is basically what you're taking minus the minus the vitamins. So I don't, you know, you're on the right path. You're doing the right stuff, and you're getting, and the results are there, and that sounds good. I would highly recommend you do the Pack of Life. You get a discount too, by the way, if you order all 4 of them. It comes as a pack instead of individually, and the vitamins are super important to balance it all out. Yeah, the fact is that the vitamins are designed by Dr. Peter Jostling in the UK for Lyme disease.
Yeah. So Richard, if your skin clears, your lesions are gone, what's happening? Do you not have Morgellons anymore?
No, you're basically becoming symptom-free and non-contagious, but it doesn't mean that you don't have Morgellons. It doesn't mean that if you happen into an environment where there are filaments and fibers that you will not contract them again. You are always susceptible to them. Now, one of the other things that we have 2 things in the store that can, once you get there, may be very beneficial in keeping you there, even when you perhaps come in contact with these things environmentally. And that is one, the Herbal Stop Parasite Formula, Nature's Gift, the Herbal Stop Parasite Formula.
I already take.
Great. So then you're doing great. And we also have the pheromones that we introduced a few weeks ago.
I use the pheromones.
Oh,
and,
well.
I want to mirror what that lady Jan said in the email you sent out a couple of weeks ago. See, I don't have itching and biting, but I get sensations in my skin of the Morgellons moving around. But there are tiny airborne springtails still in my environment. But when I use the pheromones, my skin goes completely quiet, no sensation anywhere, head to toe.
Right.
So I've already decided I think I will never stop using the pheromone oil because I know that I can pick up springtails on anywhere. I went to a brand new grocery store the other day, the day that it opened, and I got a breakfast sandwich. And they gave me some napkins, some brown napkins with my breakfast sandwich. And I was sitting in a sunny window, and when I picked up that napkin to go to wipe my face with the napkin, 1,000,000 friggin' springtails flew out of that napkin. So I know that they're out there.
Yeah, they're around. They're an environment, and there are 6,000 species, and there's nothing that actually says the species that flew out of there has any affinity or was there has any affinity for human flesh. But they're in the environment, and without them, we would be suffocated from all the organic matter that has to be they consume every year so that our planet can stay clean and free. So yes, well,
me.
it's wonderful. So what you're sharing with us is that you're getting to our goal. You're getting to the goal where we are more like everybody else who's not affected by these things, because some people can be right in the middle of them and not feel them or be impacted by them, and others like us can be dramatically affected and by using the pheromones and, getting on the diet, making it work as you did, and doing all the things that you've done, you've progressed and progressed and progressed to the point where you're about to graduate and be on Easy Street with just using pheromones and the herbal supplement to reduce dopamine uptake. So that's fantastic.
It's taken a long time. It really has, and it's been pretty terrible.
We should have a party. We should have a party when you get there.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a party just yet, but the one amazing is I don't have any setbacks. For the first couple years, it was constantly one step forward, two steps back, or I'd think I was clearing and then I'd have a massive flare-up.
Yeah.
And now I'm steadily improving all the time and no setbacks.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you be willing to join our coaching staff?
You know, I would think about it. I almost think that when I get past this, I never want to think about it or talk about it again as long as
Oh, we had a fantastic coach, and she did so well with it, and she loved coaching, but every time she thought about it, she couldn't be a coach. It was.
I'm thinking I never, ever, ever want to think about this ever again.
But this is where you can get. This is where I am, and I believe where Robin is. You can remember that you had them, but forget what it felt like to have had them. You got that? You remember that you had the problem, but forget what it felt like. I mean, when I get reinfected, there's a problem, because until the Herbal Stop formula, if I got reinfected, sometimes it took me 3 days to figure out I was reinfected. And by then, it was like, oh, I got to start all over. But with the Herbal Stop formula, it's fantastic. Like Easy Street.
See. I'm not out of the woods yet, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, when you get close to being out of the woods, I welcome you to join our coaching staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Keep coming back.